Terence Crawford, his name keeps coming up, and I know he's a lot smaller than you. Is that a fight that you would ever consider under any circumstance?
I always say if the fight make sense, why not? But he's not in the plan.
He's not in the plan.
No.
Okay. Is there a specific reason for it? Is it because of his size, or it won't do anything for you in terms of pushing you toward your goals?
Like I say, if makes sense, maybe. I don't know. I don't know right now. I just gonna enjoy this fight, and please let me enjoy this fight, and then you gonna know what is next for sure.
So there's a rumor going around that the fight between Terence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr., the rematch is canceled. Now, this is what they're saying. It's not nothing solid or set in stone. It's not nothing that somebody credible came out and stated. But this is just a rumor in the boxing streets. It's your boy, Mr. 926, a.k.a. Bushido the Dragon, a.k.a. the Silver-Haired Demon, a.k.a. the Black Mage, a.k.a. I could just do this all day, the two-time demonetized champion of the world.
Need y'all to get the likes up, man. Get the likes up. Smash the like button. We have 350 people and 90 fucking 5 likes.
Check it out, man. What if Terence Bud Crawford beat Canelo Alvarez? Yeah, I know, right? Something like this being said is, I guess it's not taboo as it once was, right? Saying something like this isn't as taboo as it once was. Now, if you had said something like this 3 years ago, people would have thought you was crazy. But your boy Bushido been saying for years that if Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez was in the same weight class, if Crawford was a middleweight type of fighter, that he will run Canelo Alvarez out of the ring. And now it's looking like it may be a possibility. And what Terence Crawford's most recent statement on Instagram leads people to believe that that fight is next for him. And he says this, quote, "If you're not chasing greatness, then what are you doing? It's not in me, not on me. It's crazy to think how far I've done came with the odds stacked against me. If you know and seen the struggle in the beginning, you'll understand why I tell myself losing is not an option. Hashtag you can't break me." Now, it was somewhat subliminal, and it may not even be what people think it is, right? Crawford, somewhat of a subliminal reaction to a fight that's potentially on the horizon for him, a fight with Canelo Alvarez. Now, what if he beats Canelo Alvarez? What does this do for Terence Bud Crawford? What does this do for boxing? One would imagine after that big fight, Terence Crawford likely will retire from the sport of boxing. Some people may say, going into a fight, potentially, let's just say potentially, because we don't know if everything's set in stone, but let's say potentially, if you go into a fight with Canelo Alvarez, and it's all the way in September, well, Canelo Alvarez is going to have a fight in May, so he'll be kind of sharpened up a little bit. A lot of people suggest that Crawford should take a fight in the meantime, just so he can kind of stay sharp and ready to get prepared for that big fight with Canelo Alvarez, if it happens. But what if Crawford beats Canelo? What would they say? What would they do? Right now, this wasn't necessarily part of the plan. Terence Bud Crawford campaigning to fight Canelo. Terence Crawford even being mentioned with the name Canelo wasn't supposed to be a thing. This wasn't supposed to happen. It was supposed to be Errol Spence Jr. But that's not how things turned out. It turned out the way it was supposed to turn out. And now it's possibly Terence Crawford getting that opportunity. Losing is not an option. So when you say stuff like that, Crawford's not hanging the gloves up right now. And losing is not an option. I don't think he'll be referencing Errol Spence Jr. in such a way, right? Losing to Errol Spence after the way the first fight played out, I'm not sure he's talking about Errol Spence Jr. neither. But who I think he's talking about is Canelo Alvarez. Losing is not an option against you, dude. I'm not about to go up in there and lay down. I'm not about to go up in here and I'm not about to get up in there and be starstruck, not throwing punches, letting you have your way with me, punching me all in my arms and shit, got me all up on the ropes. Nah, that's not about to happen with me. I'm Terence Bud Crawford. You get in the ring with me, we fighting for real. And the best man will win. Right? So, yeah, man, look, salute to Canelo Alvarez if all this is true. He hasn't came out and said anything yet, but you best be sure once he comes out in the public, comes out in the mix, and somebody sees him, they're going to definitely ask him about it. And then we're going to see his response. Because now, I think people kind of calm down with the whole, well, he's too small, he shouldn't do. I think people are saying, you know what, let's just see what happens. The people that was doubters before, I don't think they speaking as loudly as they once was. I think they say, like, you know what, let's just see what happens. Right? Let's be honest, boxing needs this fight. Boxing going to need a big fight for 2024. And that is the fight to make. Boxing fans are going to continue to talk about it. Canelo Alvarez seemed to have pretty much shut the door on the possibility of facing David Benavidez. Some people may be upset about that. Canelo should fight guys in his weight class, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I think this one occasion, this last occasion, right, for Terence Bud Crawford, let's see if he can go up 3 weight classes and beat Canelo Alvarez. I think he can do it. I think it'll probably be one of his easier fights as well. I'm not saying he's going to go up in there and just Errol Spence Canelo Alvarez. I don't think that's necessarily going to happen. However, there will be a significant speed difference, right? Especially if Crawford's able to retain his speed. He seems to have kind of grown, right? He seemed to be a lot bigger than he once was. All this time he may be trying to gain some weight, put some size on himself, so he can be able to. So the weight won't necessarily be a factor for him, because that's the only, in my opinion, the only advantage Canelo has in that fight, in my opinion, is the weight. Everything else, fair game. Hell, Terence Crawford may even have more advantages than Canelo Alvarez. But it shouldn't be an easy fight, right? It shouldn't be easy, right? I mean, am I underestimating Canelo a little bit? It shouldn't be that easy, right? I mean, Canelo, in my opinion, he just hasn't looked too great, right? He just hasn't looked like that same sharp, he seemed to be slowing down, right? If I'm honest, Canelo Alvarez, in my opinion, seemed to be slowing down. And I think now would be the time for a guy like Terence Crawford, a smaller guy, to move up in weight at his age, to go up in there and face Canelo Alvarez. It'd be great for boxing. I mean, let's be honest. What else are we waiting for? We got some fights we're waiting for this upcoming in March, February, etc. But what big fights are we waiting for? And what if Terence Crawford beats Canelo and rides off to the sunset? Kind of messes up the money to a degree, right? Canelo is the cash cow. He's like the lottery ticket for everybody. You get an opportunity with Canelo Alvarez, well, your life changes forever, right? Will that go away if Crawford beats Canelo Alvarez? Will Canelo Alvarez still keep his juice if he was to take a loss to Terence Bud Crawford? Will Terence Crawford take all that juice, and will he be the new cash cow in the sport of boxing? I'm not sure it'll play out that way for Bud. But if Terence Crawford does get the Canelo Alvarez fight this September and beats Canelo Alvarez this September, he'll be definitely regarded as one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. Tell me what you guys think. What if Terence Crawford beats Canelo Alvarez? Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.